Are you looking for a personal M&E coach to be doing all of your M&E dirty work? And someone who is damn cheap, like $5 cheap? Do you want to access M&E constancy for only $5? Monitoring and evaluation, which is also known as M&E, is all about understanding where you are, where you want to be, and how you're going to get there. When you engage in any M&E intervention, the first thing you want to do is understand the context. What exactly is it that you want to achieve by having a monitoring and evaluation system? While it's true that many organizations, and not excluding individual persons, see M&E as a donor requirement, the truth is it's so much more. In 2017 alone, donors pumped in at least $27 billion in humanitarian assistance. That alone was a huge, generous commitment, but a tough call, especially if such monies are not accounted for. That's why monitoring and evaluation is important. It bridges that huge gap that gives you the information you need to know about project success. In years to come, M&E Made Simple will embark on a global mission to become an international watchdog in order to get everybody affected by a project or program to become whistleblowers in the management of funds. M&E Made Simple realizes the key importance that monitoring and evaluation plays in the lives of above 1 billion people worldwide, which is why M&E Made Simple has taken the next step to offer expertise in monitoring and evaluation on any topic of your choice. It can be any topic in M&E or project management of your choice, such as undertaking a baseline or evaluation, research, log frame development, and so on. And guess what? All this is only for $5. In order to access this service, simply register a Fiverr account using the link below. This is the first and most important step. Afterwards, use the link that follows to access the service for only $5. This service is open to students, organizations, lecturers, and any other person around the globe. That's all the time we have, and see you on the other side.
Hi guys, welcome to the final part of our 8-part series, Types of Project Evaluation Methods. I really hope you enjoyed every single bit. I'm so happy because I know I did my part. Now it's up to you to do your part and make a tremendous contribution to your organizations. If you're here for the first time, my name is Coach Alexander, been here for 10 years. I have a 6-month one-on-one coaching program which begins in January 12, 2021. Please find time, enroll in it. I want you to have the maximum benefit in this coaching program. There are those 2 free ebooks. You are free to download them. They're in the description below. I also have a wonderful course on Udemy, how to set up a monitoring and evaluation system step by step. Okay, so please find time. If you have the money, enroll in this course. It's only $12. It could be cheaper, but it's already cheap. Let's face it, $12 is a cheap amount. So please enroll in it. As usual, this is a long video, but you can take full advantage of the timestamps in the description below so that your experience when watching these videos is of the best experience ever. So now, what are the characteristics of quality evaluations? You know what, guys? You can conduct an evaluation, you can hire a consultant to do your evaluation. But if that report does nothing to help you improve, let me tell you the truth, it's as if nothing was done. So there are certain things you need to make sure of when you engage a consultant to do the evaluation, or when you yourself have been contracted to conduct any evaluation. So those are the characteristics. There are 6 of them. And I want to believe at least you know 3/4 of them if you have been an M&D professional for as long as I have. But in case you are a newbie, even knowing one is fine, because really I knew these things even before I reached this far. Some of them at least I knew. Let's go through them. There's impartiality, there's usefulness, stakeholder involvement, value for money, technical adequacy, feedback, and dissemination. These are some of the characteristics. There could be more, but these are the main ones, guys. So I want us to go through them one by one. So when we say impartiality, what we're really saying is that there shouldn't be any political involvement, or there shouldn't this report you produce shouldn't be biased. In short, it should be objective. It should call a spade a spade. The challenges that we face as professionals, M&D professionals, is that we usually get attacked even when we produce authentic information. So that those attacks make us feel a bit uncomfortable when we have to report poor results. But the good part about all this is that even when results are not positive, let's use those results to stimulate thinking, to stimulate corrective action, so that in the next cycle of implementation, we are able to perform at maximum ability. One of the other things I have noticed is that when you contract a consultant to evaluate your project, sometimes they don't give you any information that you can use to make informed decisions. Sometimes, or they may give it to you, but it's not in a format where it's easily understood. They give you a lot of information, a lot of graphs, a lot of findings, but they don't really summarize it into a useful conclusion. Because, take for instance, if I want to know whether the well being, the livelihoods of people in a rural community has improved or not, I shouldn't be fed with so many statistics at first. What I want is from the consultants or evaluators' perspective. The question is, have those lives improved? Yes or no? I shouldn't have to read a full report. I need those conclusions to come out clearly. Then I get to the detail. So sometimes, if it's not easy to establish the conclusions, then it is not useful to management, because we are expecting that this information should be relevant to our cause. And how do we determine relevancy? It's in the project log frame. The technical adequacy of a project, of an evaluation, cannot be overly emphasized. The thing is that the reason why technical adequacy is important is because when it comes to statistics, you need to use the correct procedures. When it comes to surveys, when it comes to evaluations, you need to use the correct procedures. So, have you used the correct sampling procedures? Have you used the correct questionnaires? Have you used the correct way of analyzing this information? Now, you don't need to be a professor, okay, to do all these things. The thing is that you just need to do things by the book, I think, in this case, because what happens is that if you miss out on doing things the correct way, you might produce, actually, you will produce misleading information. And then, even when you present such a high level report to a group of high level professionals, I'm telling you, they're going to give you a lot of criticism. So, it's really important you take care of this aspect. If you don't have the you don't have the resource capacity, human capacity in your organization, you can hire it, and then they can help you come up with a, a methodology that is well accepted even in the academic realm. This is so important, and in my years of experience, I've seen sometimes this is where we miss it. Were stakeholders involved in quality assuring the evaluation report? We've got stakeholders. They need to be part of the process. You need to make sure that in your circle of stakeholders, stakeholders are the different stakeholders. We've got different categories. We've got the project beneficiaries. We've got the people in the academia. We've got the people in the government. We've got the donors. Have you involved, even just members of the public, have you involved them? One way you can involve them is after you've done the evaluation report, circulate it either through email, through different forums to people. Okay, you can send it to different organizations. Organizations would be happy to comment on your findings. However, one of the other things I've learned that if you really want this process to work, you need to give your stakeholders incentives to actually review your report. So it works well to have a workshop, invite different stakeholders to your workshop, and the workshop these days, hosting an event at a hotel, at a lodge, it doesn't really cost that much if you come to think about it. And these are the things which should be budgeted. Feedback, very, very important. So when you share the information, you need to be able to get feedback, and whatever feedback you get, let it be used to build you. Don't look at it as an attack. So now, the dissemination process of the findings, after you've done the stakeholder involvement and then you finalize the report, it can now be widely broadcasted through different channels. You can use media, social media, email, radio, okay? And in the dissemination, you need to make sure that you've categorized the audience well, because not all the audiences will want to read the report, but some of the audiences will only want to know a portion of the report, a summary. The researchers and academicians are the ones who want to read that report page by page. But for members of the public, maybe they'll just need something summarized. And this is something you need to discuss among yourselves in the organizations to determine the information needs of different stakeholders. Another important thing is the value for money. So, value for money is simply getting what you've paid for. I don't want to be in a situation where I pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and the product I receive is not the same. You can't equate it to what you spent. It's more like you've made losses. So when you talk of value for money, there we are simply saying is that when you engage in this data collection, whatever data you're collecting should be tied to usability. Are you going to use it? That is the key question. If you're not going to use most of that data, then you've lost out. You've incurred a huge cost. And that questions whether indeed your spending patterns were correct. So that was the last part. I sure hope you really enjoyed this 8 part series. It's been such a lovely time, and please don't go away because 2021 is going to be a year full of content on YouTube. I've been your host, Coach Alexander. Until we meet again, see you on the other side. Bye.